In this tutorial, I will deploy an ASP.NET Core app to Azure. This app is database driven and has SQL Server 2019 as backend. The app is hosted on Docker container. I will show you all the process, so make sure you follow this tutorial throughout the end. Let us create an SQL Server 2019 on Azure. In your Azure account, go to SQL Databases section. Then create a new SQL database. In the Create SQL Database screen, select the resource group, enter database name. I have named my database as movie. Then select the server. If the drop-down does not show any server, then you have to create one from the create new link. Actually, SQL databases are contained in SQL servers, so you have to select an SQL server under which this database will be created. Now click the configure database link and configure the database size and DTU. I am selecting minimum size and for the database to keep small and also the price minimum. So remember that I am doing just CRUD operations, so these do not require anything heavy. So selecting the minimum power for my database. Next, click the review plus click button to review the settings you have made, and if you want to check other tabs, then you can check them too. I do not need to do anything special here, so finally click the create button to create the SQL database. Wait for a few seconds until it is created. It seems that the database is created now. Click to the link that says go to resource button. Now here you will see the database connection string. So click on it and copy it. Now open your ASP.NET Core app and open its app settings.json file. Then paste this connection string there. Notice the password is not given because the password you have to create it. So go to the SQL server which is containing the database on your Azure account. For my case, it is MySQL Server for Azure. So go to your Azure portal and you open that MySQL Server for Azure. And you will see a reset password link where you can click it and create your new password. The password should be strong like what I am making it. The password for the database is made, and now I will connect to this movie database with my SQL Server Management Studio on my local PC. So open SQL Server Management Studio. And enter the server name, login and password from the connection string to it. Carefully see how I am copying and pasting them. Oops, there is an connection error. If you read it carefully, it states that you have to add an exception to this IP address in the SQL Server firewall. So open the Azure and go to the database, and you will see an firewall settings. Click on it and you copy and paste this IP address in the start IP and add IP text boxes. Move from these fields with your tab button and then click the save button to save these settings. Now click the connect button in SSMS once more and you will be connected successfully to your SQL server. You can now see the movie database there, but you can see there are no tables in it. This is because I will have to make the tables using entity framework code migration commands. In your app, go to the app settings.json file and copy and paste the database password to the connection string. Now open package manager console window and enter the command .NET EF migrations add and name of the migration, which I am keeping as migration 1. So click the enter button and you will see it is successfully done. A migration folder is created on your app which contains migration classes. Next, add another migration command that will apply this migrations to the database. This will create tables on the database. The command is .NET EF database update. Once again I received the same error message, so I have to add this IP address to the firewall rule on the SQL database. So go to Azure and add this IP address to the firewall settings on the database page. When done, save it. And then run the .NET EF database update command once again. This time the command has executed successfully. Now refresh the database on SSMS once again and you will see the table called movie is created on the database. Next, let us deploy the ASP.NET Core app running on Docker container to Azure. In the database page on Azure, allow Azure services and resources to access this server. So turn this to yes. This is necessary for the ASP.NET Core app to access the database, else it won't be able to do so. So go to your ASP.NET Core app and add Docker support to it. You can do it by right clicking the project name in Solution Explorer and select Add Docker Support. Then select Linux for the target OS. The Docker file will be created. Next I have to build the Docker file which will create an image for my app. So go to the command prompt and build this image. Make sure you are in the directory of this Docker file. Then enter the docker build command, which is docker build -d yogi/apps:/ds dot. I forgot the dot, so I received an error. I have to run this command once again with the dot at the end. This time the command is correct and the image is building now. Note that I am building the image in the format as I will be pushing this image to my Docker Hub account. My Docker Hub account is yogi and my repository name is apps, and I have tagged this image as ds. The image is built now. So run the docker images command and you will find this image on the images list. Now run the docker push command, which will push this image on the Docker Hub. The command is docker push yogi/apps:/ds. This image will be pushed and you now check the Docker Hub repository and you will find this image there. Now creating a new app service in Azure which will fetch this image from Docker Hub and create the app from it. This process is also known as deployment of the app. So in the create web app service screen, select the resource group, then for the publish field select Docker container and name your app something based on your liking. Click the next Docker button. In this screen you have to tell Azure that your image location is from Docker Hub and your image's name and tag, it should be yogi/apps:/ds. Finally click the review plus create button to review the settings and you will see the create button. So create this app by clicking this button. Once the app is created, you will be provided with the app's URL. So click on the URL and the app will open on the browser. The app has opened on the browser. Now let us test the CRUD functionality. I will create, read, update and delete movies. There's a database which is storing the movies, so once I am testing it, everything looking just fine. I think the app is working perfectly. So this completes the tutorial and hope you liked it. Thank you.